So we had the plan, but what are the details? What's the program? To find the program, we need to know what the goals are, which are bigger squat, bigger pull, keep my conditioning, keep building muscle in the upper body, and reduce fat further. What are the compounding variables to these goals? Well, first of all, it's don't make my broken foot any worse. I need to coordinate all these variables and loading without making my foot any more broken. So to begin with, I'll be training 7 days a week. Now we need to figure out what frequency of my main goals in descending order can I do throughout the week in a way that will work, sustain progress, and progress some aspects. So I know from experience and knowledge that 3 times a week for squatting is the most I need and should be doing. I know that the snatch pull is as much a technical progression as a strength progression. So I know that the weights are relatively light compared to my max strength capacity, so I can pull 3 times a week. However, I've been getting a little bit of a graw or a hankering for a bigger deadlift, so I'm going to replace one of those snatch pulls with one deadlift. Conditioning can be done basically daily because I've done a lot of conditioning for quite a while and I've built up quite a tolerance to it, and it doesn't really affect my strength training in any meaningful capacity. Hypertrophy work is pretty low fatigue compared to my other goals, but to be honest with you, I find it quite boring, so it's going to be relegated to twice a week, 2 upper body sessions. For the fat loss goal, diet is the main driver here, so the training I'm doing will cover a lot of that in adjacent fashion, so I don't need to particularly do any fat loss specific training, as it were. So we have our frequency. What does our loading look like in regards to these goals? The squat loading will be primarily for novelty and foot safety. Up until now, I've been doing 2 squat sessions a week and a maximum of 3 sets of 3, somewhere between 200 and 240, with a heavy single thrown in every 3 months or so. Now, however, of course, I'm going to need to up the volume. The initial phase of squatting will be accumulating volume at 200 kilos across a variety of rep ranges, and this is for 2 reasons. The first is because I don't want to squat heavier just yet to ensure my foot stays together, and the second is, to be honest with you, just sheer novelty. I could do lighter weights and higher rep sets, but because I don't want to, I won't. The snatch pulls will be loaded around 100% of my snatch, but I will go heavier if it feels very light on certain days, as long as the positions remain the same to keep coach happy. The conventional deadlift or clean deadlift, whatever you want to call it, will be pretty low volume. It's pretty strong at the moment. I tested it on Sunday and I got 250 kilos, so I'll likely do some conservative singles once a week. But given that I can't load it too heavy to prioritize the squat, I'll have to hope for some easy gains here based on my squat increasing. Conditioning for now will be stationary bike sessions ranging from a minimum of 30 minutes to about a maximum of 60 minutes for the longer sessions twice a week. Some sessions will include some circuit training purely for novelty until I can return to sprinting, which I suspect won't be for at least another 4 weeks, if not longer. At some stage I will add back in some lighter snatching, but until I can walk without a limp, I won't be risking it. Current state of the foot is very, very good. The main issue now is just the soft tissue, the ligaments, etc. Of course, had a very violent accident upon them, and as such are somewhat tender, and the bones have recovered incredibly well, but the soft tissue, the fascia, tendons and ligaments all require a little bit more tender loving care, so I need to be a bit more patient with those. But thankfully, we can keep pushing our training in different variables. So those are the details. Follow along with the training block for the next while, and we'll see how they adjust. Enjoy the multiple reps at 200 kilos here on screen.